The guys do impressions. Joe's mediocre pop quiz. Steve's celebrity crush. On this episode of Jim Joe Steve Show.
Here's a story about 20 years ago. Three bros who grew up in Baltimore to the beach show. Every summer they had to go before they got married with kids. Now they all grown. Long trips to New York and Toronto. Playing beer pong with Captain Morgan's. Free throws. And if you don't know, now you know. Coming in hot. Jim Joe Steve Show.
Hello and welcome back with another episode of Jim Joe Steve Show. Here with my friend Steve.
Oh, I wasn't ready to go first.
You always have to
I
be
exist.
ready.
I exist now. Hello, everybody.
And Jim.
How is it going?
It's going pretty well.
I'm doing well.
Glad. You know what? I'm doing good.
Is that the correct way to say it?
I don't know. I'm just doing better than well. I think well's a little low. I think I'm a little higher than well.
Well,
Is well better than good?
I don't know.
well, I mean,
I'm doing great.
Look,
I'm
mean,
doing fantastic.
that door is 10% open to Steve. Oh man. So I on my way over here today, I was listening to that band Angel Dust. I think is one of your buddies is in that band.
Justice, yeah.
Dude, that band is good. Like they're legitimately I can listen to them. So they've got that one song with Tim Armstrong. Are they a local band though?
No.
Oh,
I mean, he's from here, but then he lives in LA now.
Oh,
so
okay.
He's been in a couple different bands.
Big time.
Yeah, I think that's where he lives. So
That's good music.
Yeah.
Shout out to Justice, and Justice is his name.
yeah.
That's not like a nickname.
Justice Tripp.
So you're not hiding it.
No, that's his real name.
Nice.
He used to. It's always funny because it's when now you look at him and he's in all these magazines and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, over time, he's been in a couple of bands that have been good. He's toured the world a couple times.
No kidding.
Yeah, but I always remember when I first started driving, I made him hang on to the side of my car while I drove around a parking lot and tried to shake him off and stuff like that. So
Was he on like a skateboard or something?
no, he just hung on. So
you were dragging him?
no, he was on the door.
Like
hanging
through
in the door,
in the window.
in the window, and we were just driving around the parking lot, and I was trying to spin around and get his feet lifted up off the air.
It is unbelievable the spectacularly stupid things we did.
I know, and it's funny now that he and I see him and on these things, and I'm just man.
I could have killed that guy by accident.
I know,
the world would have been without this music.
And his mark on the world is so much bigger than mine.
That actually happened to me one time. I was when I was thinking I was a skateboarder. I was skateboarding home, and my uncle just happened to be driving. We kind of crossed the intersection, and he had this old brown Oldsmobile. But he was wild. He was a legit kind of wild dude. And I said, hey, let me hang on the back and take me home. And
Hell yeah, grab on.
Get on, boat. So he slowed down enough that I could grab onto the trunk. But there wasn't anything to grab on. I was just kind of pressing my hands on the trunk. And he fucking takes off.
Oh, my God.
Slow at first. And 5 miles an hour on a skateboard feels like, you're going.
You're cruising.
But when you go up to about 20, 25, and you get the death wobble.
Oh, that anyone who's skateboarded knows that death wobble.
The death wobble. And he thinks that I'm just screaming because I'm
Having fun. It's
fun.
like a roller coaster
So
ride.
he's not letting off the gas. And it just, I'm in the back, wobble, 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 and then boom, face plant on the street.
No chance you were wearing a helmet.
No.
I always wore.
The entire side of my face.
I knew the answer to that.
I ate asphalt.
Oh.
My entire side of my face, my right side of my face, was just a scab.
Another story from the crazy guy of the show.
Skateboarding was a short. It was a short.
I was not good at it. I
wasn't
really
good at it.
wanted to be good at it because
Yeah.
it was the peak of skateboarding is now popular.
Yeah, I really
just
wanted to
couldn't
be
do
good at it, so I could wear the clothes, but I just wore the clothes anyway.
Yeah.
I could only get from point A to point B. I could maybe 60% of the time land an ollie from the street to the sidewalk and keep going. Otherwise,
I just imagine Jim hopping onto the street and then just going, yes.
yeah, I got it. You look around and see if anyone actually saw that one.
Right. No one ever saw that.
No one. But plenty of people saw me cross the street and just wipe out of my face, and then you got to do that weird pick up your skateboard and look at it like it's the skateboard's fault, or like
The embarrassment of
right. I switched to BMX after that.
Yeah, smart.
riding bikes is so much easier than
Faster.
yeah.
Pop quiz.
Oh, you got one this time, Joe?
I do. I was thinking about this. I put some thought into this. So is that excitement or a sneeze or
No, that's I had a lot of energy.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, this is going to disappoint you then.
My armpits are so sweaty.
That coffee's still pumping through you from weeks ago?
Yeah.
All right. So if you could have any job in the world, but you were only like pretty good at it. So you could say like NFL quarterback, but you ain't starting. Or like
That's the best job in the world, to be a backup quarterback. But it's not going to be my answer.
I mean, that is a good answer. Like because I've always thought that like being like a Major League Baseball pitcher would be the best job in the world. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that I think it would be the best job in the world because you only play once every 5 days. But you still, I mean, that's, the 4 days in between, you're watching baseball games. And being a baseball player would be tough because like you're grinding it out for like the best seasons of the year. Like all summer, you're working all summer. And like,
And even when you're not working, you're just sitting there watching.
I think that's just a professional athlete in general.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
At least with like
your life, that is your life because it's such a small span.
football, you get like the spring and summer off. Though.
See, but
No, they still practice.
Oh yeah.
See,
And then
being
you're
an
watching tape.
athlete is like, it's cool in theory, like if you're good at it or whatever. But if you could like magic thing to make you mediocre at something, why would you want to do something that you would work most of the year or then have to train for working later
Just
on?
to be mediocre.
Just to be mediocre. Now, do you know you're mediocre? I mean, I guess I mean, this is a
Or you
mediocre
just-
podcast.
But we think we're awesome,
Yeah,
so maybe
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't know.
I have an answer for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, a Playboy photographer.
Oh,
He just puts his finger over the lens too much. There's your mediocrity.
Because you still
You're
get all the
such a
perks of the job. They're tasteful. I could have
That's
said
true.
like hustler or swank.
well, you could have also said you wrote the articles for Playboy.
I'm not a writer.
You're not a photographer either.
I certainly am a photographer. I could, if I would have finished college.
Oh, you did take every.
I have
photography
enough credits
class.
to finish
I
college.
took a photography class in college, and I left. I quit it because it was too much.
Photography.
Well, it was like you have to buy all this stuff. The
camera.
the camera, and all the equipment, and the
Right.
being as young as being 18, you're like, I can't afford all this stuff. And then they're like, well, for the first months, we're just going to take pictures of doorknobs. And I was like, I'm not spending all this money to take pictures of stupid doorknobs. I was like, this is a joke. And I was like, I only took it because
Thought it was
allegedly E-Rock was with me. So that's,
I've taken every photography class offered by most of the colleves in the
Most of the
Baltimore.
local community
Yes.
colleges.
I've taken.
University of Rossville Boulevard.
Oh man,
I like photography. I've always been a big fan.
my buddy Nick went to CCBC, also my alma mater, and he had the best name for it. I told him, he moved into my neighborhood and we were talking and where'd you go to school and I said went to CCBC, and he was like oh, I went to UCLA too. I was like, what? He's like, University of Catonsville, left of Arbutus. I was like, oh, that's the
one.
greatest.
Now, if I had to pick my mediocre, God, I would be. I keep wanting to say I'd be a mediocre Warren Buffett because then I'd still have a lot of money.
Oh,
So, but
mediocre hedge fund. I don't think mediocre hedge fund manager makes it very far.
now if I say an actor, what like a mediocre actor, would you be? Would you just be like? I'd be like Steve Buscemi and like the
No, I think
backup
Steve
guy.
Buscemi's
He's an
he's
excellent.
A-list.
I mean, like.
I mean,
He-
you're
there's-
talking
you
about
don't see
average
him-
looking.
You don't see a movie like it's where he's the lead. He's always the
he was the
second.
lead in Boardwalk Empire.
Okay,
Legit.
Well, I'm
lead
wrong.
in
Okay.
Boardwalk.
In like one of the best shows
You know what?
that HBO.
Okay,
put
all
out.
right. Well, then I'd be like
you'd be like,
Clint Howard,
I don't know who that is. So that's probably
the
exactly what.
ball-headed guy, Ron Howard's brother. That looks like I don't know. He's scary.
Oh.
I got a good actor, Timothy Oliphant. He's actually one of my favorite actors, but
I think it's Oliphant.
what Ola Allah, I don't give a fuck.
I think you said. I think you said elephant in a
No.
fancy way.
No,
I think you said elephant.
I don't know how to
The
pronounce
guy
it, but
who
you know
was
who-
the great salesman on The Office.
yes, but I actually liked him because he was in Go, the movie Go.
Oh yeah.
That's where-
that's a good movie.
Yeah, no, it is actually a very good movie and very well written for that style of movie.
Yeah. I think that would be a good example of like. I think Timothy Oliphant would be sad to learn though that he was our example for only being mediocre.
But like he hasn't been in the lead,
Right.
but
Right.
he's recognizable.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's a good actor, but I guess in the span of actors, if you put them all on a list, he would probably be right in the middle of actors that you are aware
B-list.
of, but
Yeah. So I would do that because it's you're an actor, so that seems fun, and then B, you don't work that much.
I think those like middle level actors. I think they do have to work a lot.
they do a
because they're-
lot of shit that you don't see them doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like plays and random other things that don't
yeah.
ever make
Cameos.
it. So the theory on Cameo is
Oh, should we start a cameo? Should we have a Jim Joe Steve show cameo?
How much money?
$1.
I would think we couldn't ask for more than $1.
No chance. We couldn't ask for like $15.
Zero chance.
No.
Who would? Have you ever
We're
looked
not-
at Cameo and then see the people that are on there?
Yeah, I think I have.
No
but-
one knows who we are yet.
I tried to find
One day
One
we'll
day.
have a cameo.
I tried to
we'll be able to
find-
charge $15.
Goals.
I tried to find a cameo for Jim, and I was going through every like hair metal band, and I'm like searching names, just going back and forth trying to find like somebody.
You couldn't find the lead singer of Winger.
So I found the old, like I guess there was another drummer for Guns N' Roses. So I found like him, but he like it was a temporarily unavailable.
Yeah, he's in and out of rehab a lot. He hurt his back.
He hurt his back.
But
Yeah.
it was just
but in rehab for other reasons.
Right.
But yeah.
he was $10.
Oh, that's a value. Oh, he was $10.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we're asking more.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I 15. It sounds good. Split
And
it 3 ways.
he is one of the best albums ever made. We have a long way to go, fellas.
He was. So was he the drummer for like the original band, or was
Appetite
he?
for Destruction.
Okay, he was the drummer. Oh.
The legit one of the best albums ever made. I mean, like it or not, it is one of the best albums ever made.
Mediocre. No, no, I'm just playing.
So, Cameo, you either are nobody and have just made it to be able to have a cameo, or you've been super successful and now have fallen all the way down to now have to do cameos.
No, I think there are people that are still popular in the limelight, but I think they charge like hundreds.
Well,
of
it
dollars.
is funny to
Yes.
see how
There's a few, I would say B-list, maybe
There's no A-listers.
I don't know if there's an A-list celebrity.
I would think so. I think there are.
Name
you
one
look at,
A-list that might be on Cameo.
when you look at Cameo, it is funny to see like people who think very highly of themselves that
By the amount they
that
charge.
they ask for $15 when they're a new podcast.
I thought that was so reasonable.
But you'll see some people and it'll be so like Brian Bumgarner, the guy who
Yeah, from The Office.
He's one of the most popular
he's
ones on there.
the highest paid one on there, and he asks for $300. So Kevin from The Office is offering $300. But then when you go through it, you'll just see like people that and like I don't know, Terry Bradshaw is on there.
A lot of athletes. There are a lot
Who
of athletes
was a Steelers? He asked for like $1,000.
I mean, I'm scrolling through it right now, and there are legit people that ask me too much.
Remember the one time I did that impression of Kevin from The Office perfectly?
It was my favorite.
And I've never been able to do it since. I've tried.
You know what other impression you do, but you don't remember doing it for some reason all of a sudden, is Droopy Dog. And you're like, well, we're doing it.
I mean, that was pretty good.
But when you do it, it was so good, and then then it's like erased from your memory.
Did I do that at the beach too?
I don't know.
I mean, I only have one impression.
What is that?
Kermit the Frog.
I could do Miss Piggy.
Also,
Wait a minute,
guys.
we should try.
We should plan a bit. Well,
Let's
when
just
I say
try it.
Kermit
Let's
the
do it
Frog,
off the cuff. Do it off the cuff.
I don't think I think I sound like Kermit the Frog, but when I do it for my wife, when I'm trying to turn her on, she doesn't. She doesn't get it. She doesn't think that I
Do
sound
your
like
Kermit, and I'll do my Piggy.
I mean, I can only say one phrase.
Well, I can only really.
Is it his name?
Yes.
Let me try it.
Hard.
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog here.
You sound like Jim doing Kermit the Frog.
I thought it was.
I'm doing Jim from Jim Joe Steve's show's version of Kermit the Frog.
I would go, Kermit.
Miss Piggy.
What?
I like the only way you're able to do these is to say the names of yourself or each other.
What else does Miss Piggy
no,
say?
I can do Sean Connery.
This is going to be our least popular episode. Jim Joe Steve Show.
I just remembered I could do one more. God. Take off your panties.
Why does Jim's always got to be creepy?
I think we just lost a woman listener.
For some reason, that's the only thing that came to my head.
Oh, that was bad.
Steve does the best impression that anyone.
Oh, Leslie Chow.
Oh man, I don't know if I can.
Can you summons Leslie?
I have to. I don't want to say certain things. You piss. See you later, boys.
God,
Bring me your purse.
I remember the first time he ever. You just came out of nowhere with that, and it was perfect.
It was legit.
I mean, that was so good.
I mean, you can say what he says because you're just repeating him. It's not you.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Well, I think I can still just go around with what I just worked with.
Yes. But I think you censored yourself. And probably for the better.
I did. So I can't. I always. Oh, I never. Impressions make me laugh all the time.
Can you do the guy from The Office, Joe?
Try it.
Man, I've tried. So every once in a while, I'll be riding in the car and I'll think about it and I'll try to do it and I can't do it.
Do you guys do? Where do you do impressions? Like in your car or in the shower?
I never do them. I do them in my head. So that's why when they
most of the time,
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog here.
Yeah, it'll be in the car.
What?
I wish it was not offensive to be able to do like an Asian accent. It's funny because it's not.
Well, you are Asian.
I'm very small, partially Asian, yes, but like it's okay for us to do.
Not enough to have a pass.
No, yeah, I don't think I get the pass.
Right.
You know, we can like if we were to do an English accent, it's
Cheerio.
not offensive. Right.
Pass the tea and crumpet. that was still Kermit.
That was like half German, half Kermit.
Jim's English accent is the
horrible.
worst I've ever heard in my life.
I've never tried it.
But for to do like an Asian accent, I don't think it's necessarily, in good taste anymore. And it's a shame because it is so funny. And remember the road trip we went on after your bachelor party?
Yes.
We were
The greatest road trip
ever. We did a big loop. We did Jim's bachelor party in Atlantic City when people used to still go to Atlantic City, and it was a big group of people. And then the four of us, me, Jim, JJ, and Steve, peeled off, and we went up to New York and ate some good pasta at my dad's house, some salmon pasta.
We'll do episodes based off of that on that trip. But
Plant the seed.
Went up to Niagara Falls and Toronto, and came back down through Detroit and stopped at Cedar Point.
I know
It was our last stop, and there was this Asian guy so when we went to Cedar Point, it was the summer. It was like middle of the summer.
Yeah, it was June, end of June.
And the park was empty, and I don't think any of us had been there before.
Never.
And Cedar Point is an awesome amusement park if you like roller coasters. And so we were able to get on the roller coasters over and over and over again. And they had this one, I think it was like called the Top Fuel Dragster or whatever, and it shoots you off at 120 miles an hour.
And it just did one up and down, and it was done.
Yeah,
but it went so fast.
So we went on it so many times because there was no line. I think one of the times, I went on it strictly to count how long the ride was. I think it was like 16 seconds long. But as we were getting buckled up, there was an Asian guy talking on the mic about getting ready and buckle up and have fun or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said something, and Steve and I both laughed because it was just we thought it was so funny, and we just kept repeating it over and over again for probably for years after that.
Years.
And I just it's not okay to do it anymore, which is a bummer because it's pure comedy. It is.
I don't know.
I know.
You just said the story, but now you got to say.
I think,
and the thing is, he can't remember what the guy said.
Yeah, neither of us can remember.
We cannot remember it.
It's
a good story.
That was out of all the stories that have no ending. That was certainly one of them.
That was King's story.
Remember the time we got on that ride and heard that guy? Yeah,
it was really fun.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We have 30 minutes, and Joe, I was legit hoping for a payoff. There was no payoff.
That is the payoff. That's the payoff.
Don't do
that. A big letdown.
So if you want to tweet us with your own impressions,
we won't be offended. Do impressions of us.
Yeah.
We also tweet at us. We have about 10 to 12 ratings on Apple, but we need to pump those numbers up.
Yeah, let's pump it up.
And I would read them and quote the people, but you don't have your real name on Apple, and it's really odd. So if you want to review us on Apple, but also get a shout out, take a screenshot and tweet at us, and I will shout out your Twitter name and read your review.
And if you don't like us, that's okay. Just give us a 5.
Right. Well, what if they gave us a 1-star review?
That's not good.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, give us a bad review, but give us 5 stars because they will be funny to read.
They would be funny to read. Yes, tell us what we suck at. Obviously, Joe telling a story with a poor ending.
Jim's Kermit the Frog.
No, you're Kermit the English accent.
Okay.
Do an Australian accent.
Give me like a phrase.
Go ahead. What's the phrase?
Down under?
Yeah, sure. That's not a knife.
Oh, that's not a knife. This is a knife.
Crikey!
Crikeys. Yeah,
watch out for that stingray.
Oh, too soon.
Sorry.
Oh,
bad taste.
That's too soon. He's dead for a long time.
I mean, it's still too soon.
Yeah, it'll always be.
It's always too soon.
Yeah. Well, you can edit that out if you want.
All right. Well, let me ask you guys a question that I've been thinking about because we're getting big. We are, reaching. We're global. We have a global reach.
Global. We've talked about that.
If you could pick somebody to interview on our show, Who would you pick?
Dead or alive?
I mean, I would actually alive. 'Cause
Where we could possibly get them,
Oh,
or there's
I see.
no shot. In
I
hell,
know
and
where
it's
Jim's
like
going
a
with this.
dream thing.
Jim's hoping that person hears about this and says, you know what, guys, I want to be on Jim, Joe, Steve Show podcast.
Everybody that we know wants to be on our podcast. So why not have everybody, famous, not famous, on our podcast at one point?
I think you're right.
So if you could just
Like
say,
our peers, like Joe Rogan, if they wanted to come on.
our fellow podcasters.
Our fellow podcasters.
But who,
I'm in the biz,
anybody,
I'm in the biz.
I mean, who, say famous, alive. It could be A, B, C, D list. It doesn't matter. But somebody that maybe the average person would know, who you would just like to have on our show.
So would they be like candid, or would they pull like?
They pull up a chair.
And they're just cool with us,
and
right?
we interview them. They talk, and have them on our show. Is what I said. I think 5 times. Who would you like if you could have anybody come on our show?
Ben Affleck.
Really?
I would have not picked that for you.
Because
he's got so many demons and you want to get into it?
no, well, he's had like so many ups and downs, and
That's
he
true.
and if he would just BS and I, in my mind, like, you know the Omaze thing where you can donate to win like a trip or something.
I've done that.
Anytime they have a Ben Affleck or Matt Damon one where you can go hang out with them, I always donate to it because I think I can become friends with them. Like, I think if I had an opportunity to hang out with them,
you'd
would
turn it
win
into a
them over.
lasting relationship.
and yeah, like we would be boys.
God, he's got such a serious look on
Yeah.
his face.
Yeah, we would be boys. So so it would be my opportunity to have him on the podcast because then we would become friends.
You don't think your in could be with Matt? The in would be through Ben.
Well, Ben's a little bit more wild, so I feel like we had Jim here. So
So, but you don't think Ben would? Okay, so Omaze approaches
did you
him.
ever see the tattoo on his back?
I haven't, but I've heard it's
a
awful.
mess.
Oh no, I will check it out. But you think that he, like, hey, I hope that the winner. I really look forward to hanging out with the winner of this thing. You know, like,
what happens is like they're like,
it's not like something that his assistant's like, hey, you got 2 hours, you got to go hang out with this winner from Amaze. You're like, who?
oh, I'm sure, but I'm gonna win him over because we are gonna
I got
connect.
2
We are
hours.
gonna connect. Like, we're just gonna sit down. You know, maybe not Ben now, but we'd have a couple cocktails, and then me and Matt would be like, yeah, talking about stuff, and then we would just hit it off.
Just hit it
I
off.
feel like you've thought this over way more than
If you ask my wife and my daughter about it, I talk about this all the time. Like when
Specifically about hanging out with Ben Affleck.
and Matt Damon, yeah. If you ask them, I always, I know that's why I pick him because I know if I met Ben Affleck and just had an opportunity to hang out like him and Matt, it'd be I might be in the Ben, Matt, and Steve show. I might have to branch off.
Would you be able to withhold from saying the "How about them apples"?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because they're my friends. They'd be my friends. So we would talk about like how we talk. It would be
You would just be
this.
instantly chummy.
I would
Just
replace
gel
you guys with
immediately.
Matt and Ben.
I would
Steve's
give up
friends,
my
Matt
seat.
and Ben.
Then I would invite you guys to come over and just be like, hey, yeah. So
you know what? But
with-
Matt and Ben might not allow us on that show because they might be scared that we'd win you back.
maybe
It would be a Steve tug of war.
I know, and but hey, guess what? There's enough of me to go around. I would do both podcasts.
Joe,
But-
you got one?
You know, like give me. I'm sure you have one if you thought of this. Let me
I
try
got
to
two.
think about it.
I got
Okay,
two.
Let's hear 'em.
You don't have it right off the top of your head like I do.
Well, it's going to be a little bit of a letdown because Steve was he's been waiting to pull that trigger. And so my guy would be either Matthew McConaughey. I just think that he's just
You'd be
interesting.
cool to
dude.
hang out with.
Another person I feel that I could become friends with.
And the other one, which I think would be probably more fun, Post Malone. Me and Posty, I know, would just chill.
See, you realize that
We
the
would-
interview thing is just to become friends with them.
Yes.
That's
so,
all it is.
So that I do agree. I think we would do karaoke pop tunes together. he could probably get out his guitar. I can't sing, But I mean, we would just hit it off. We would just be duetting back and forth, and
So
then Posty
you
would give
like
me like,
the fact that the guy that goes to the party and brings out the guitar and starts playing.
no, but if you're at a party with Posty and he brings out a guitar,
Okay, I gotcha.
Then
He does.
you
Nirvana
remember that
covers.
party, and you're
Yeah.
like, I'd fucking jam with
I'd-
Posty.
Matt and Ben and I would show up, and I'd be like, "Oh, look, Posty's here. Posty's here."
God, it is shocking the amount of time that you guys have spent thinking about this.
It is funny that
Yeah.
like Jim started. I did like I've that's always been in my mind. Well, like meeting Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And then Jim basically had the same thought
Yeah,
process.
I didn't think that I thought that much about it, but I have a whole
'Cause
day
it's-
planned out.
It is. Where would you guys go for breakfast?
I mean, we wouldn't meet up in the morning.
Oh,
Like,
right.
yeah,
you guys are nighttime friends.
You start it and with dinner. We go out for some drinks. Yeah.
Nice.
And then, we get, I don't know, we obviously we're going to some party, right? I mean, I wouldn't waste.
Oh, so this isn't on like a Tuesday night.
You don't hang out with Posty and Matthew McConaughey on Tuesday.
They're Friday, Saturday people.
Yeah.
You guys are good friends.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Now, I will say, going back to Ben, the one thing I would have trouble with is the fact that they are Boston fans.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that would be the only downside to it. But you know
You
what?
couldn't talk sports.
Yeah. I would just look past it. I've already thought about that.
Do you think they'd be able to look past your fandom? I guess we're not really a threat to them
My
Yet.
fandom? Oh.
yet.
Well, I would, because we'd be peers, basically.
I mean, we're all in
We're
the
looking at the
entertainment
same.
industry.
We're all looking at the same. We're eye to eye. You know, they have Academy Awards. I don't have awards. I think I got a participation trophy one time.
I mean, maybe you become such good friends they put you in the next movie and you get award. Supporting actors.
We could just
Steve.
we can skip cameo and just do cameos in movies. Anytime you need a podcast in a movie, I mean, how many times does that happen? Like, once probably.
Yeah.
Well, for now on, Jim Joe Steve Show can be the cameo for podcasts.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean,
like it.
anything can happen. You
all
throw it
right,
out
Joe.
there in the universe. Joe, now we've stalled enough.
I know.
Give us a name. Give us a goddamn name.
Joe's is gonna be dumb. It's gonna be.
It's
like,
gonna be
Yeah,
some
it-
golfer or
no.
like
Jack
some dude that
Johnson.
owns a boat. I don't know.
the man who invented boats,
It's a very interesting
a
guy.
sea captain that Joe knows.
So there's one name that keeps coming back to me, and
That's
you guys,
the name.
You guys might not even know who he
see.
is.
I'm sure we do.
I know, and that's
I already feel like it's so pretentious. Whoever this
it's
guy
not pretentious. He's a writer. He
Oh,
he
all
has a
right, all
podcaster.
right.
He has a podcast. This guy
Everyone
named,
has podcasts.
this guy named Malcolm Gladwell.
Come on.
I
Joe.
know.
Jesus
I was. That's what I was. I was trying to
f-
take more time to think of something like fun and entertaining.
That is the worst answer in the entire world.
I mean, I don't want to hang. No offense to writers.
Well, he's also a podcaster. He's got a unique voice. He's got good perspective on things.
So boring.
Miss Piggy hates it.
Give us a goddamn name. A real. Just
Let's-
give us a name.
Jim, let's pick Joe's. If he can't do it, we'll pick.
All right.
for Joe.
Okay, pick somebody for me.
Oh man, put ourselves on the
Yeah,
spot.
I can't think of.
I mean, would
If
I
if
love to hang out
Jack
with Jack Johnson?
Johnson.
Yeah, would I love to? Absolutely, I'd love to hang
Okay,
out with
we-
Jack
we
Johnson.
pulled
Dustin Johnson.
His
the
brother?
golfer.
That's a good one. That's a good one because he likes to party.
Who likes to
Dustin.
party?
Oh, yeah.
We like to party.
Yeah, Dustin Johnson would be a good one also. But I don't think Dustin Johnson has a lot to talk about.
If,
See, Ben and Matt, you guys could talk all day.
Yeah,
I don't
because
think
we're friends.
I don't think DJ has a lot going on.
When the media gets on Ben, I honestly
defensive?
get defensive about it. So.
He's been in the media recently.
A lot.
So
Well,
I don't.
Because Benifer's back.
I don't want. Okay, I was gonna say I don't follow him the way that you follow him, Steve. So I don't know who he's with right now. He's with
He's with Jennifer
Jennifer
Lopez. again.
Lopez.
Okay, but he was with Jennifer Gardner.
I mean,
while
that was
ago-
a
a
long
while
time
ago.
Oh, okay. Because when people say Jennifer, I don't know which
They
one
were,
they're
they
referring
were
to.
they were married and they like I think
Right.
they
So
Him
now,
and Jennifer Lopez were married too, weren't they?
I think they were in I don't know.
Weren't they married for like a month? You don't know a lot about your best friend.
Well, I don't want to get in his personal life. I just want to be his friend.
Not on the radio or on the podcast.
I'm not going to throw his business out there.
Stay up to date with all the celebrities gossip.
Whenever we release this, he could be with someone else for all I know. So I don't want to be wrong.
Oh, tell him to text you.
Yeah. Oh man, God, think of getting that text. think of getting that text where you're just like you're sitting there and you're just watching TV and then it's like your phone buzzes.
Would you ignore us for a minute? Like, would you stop us dead in a conversation? Like, guys, Ben texted me.
I would get up right now.
He would
and
leave. He would just leave.
And you couldn't get mad at it. I'd be like, I'm going to go hang out with Matt and Ben.
I mean, I would.
Matt's going to talk about clean water. Cool with me. Cool with me, bud. But then we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. All friend stuff. Like,
go ahead, Steve. Go ahead, put your phone number out there. You never know. Go ahead, put it right now.
I wish our listeners could see like the serious look that comes on your face when you talk about
the
this.
joy. I mean, I've never seen him this happy and like fulfilled.
But when I say seriousness, I mean that this is a conversation that he must have with himself so often.
Because I told you, I constantly look at Omaze to see if there is the next time to hang out with Matt and Ben, and I enter it.
Do you follow him on Twitter?
Omaze, if you want to advertise with us, you're getting a lot of good plugs.
They don't really post anything on Twitter. They don't really. Yeah, they're not like Twitter people. They're just they hang out.
They live life. They don't post about it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Steve, on behalf of Joe and I really hope that sometime in your future you get to hang out with your.
I feel like I just need 15 minutes
to win them over.
I
don't know. Boy, you're overconfident. 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel like the connection would be that strong. I mean, if I won, like if we went out had to go out to dinner and we would hang out. And then I'd be
that's a fast dinner. That's McDonald's.
Well, I mean, we'd go out to dinner if you gave me like 2 hours, and then we'd be like, guys, where do you guys want to go after this? And they'd be like, where are we going? I'd be like,
let's go see some flops.
Let's go to Essex.
Oh, so you want to hang out here?
I'll hang out. No, anywhere. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I guess he lives in L.A. or somewhere in Cali.
They
right?
probably live in Boston and LA.
I just don't know where the like good spots are.
So you want to fly out? You want to have a Jim Joe Steve show bro trip out to Cali, and then just hope we just run into him?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, you see him in restaurants on Twitter. People take pictures of him.
Can we expense this trip?
If we had a legit company. I mean, actually, we can. We could.
I didn't know I was going to talk about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck for this long.
I feel like that's been at the tip of your tongue for at least like a month and a half. Well, that's going to do it, guys. I have to cut it off at some point.
I'm all hot and bothered talking about Matt and Ben.
I hate to dive into this in another episode, but I feel like I need to give you guys a better answer. So I'm going to think about this. This wasn't a pop quiz. This is a final exam, and I want to give you guys a good answer.
You don't get to redo final exam.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna
think about it.
Well, I want to think. I want to give a good answer.
We were like this, Joe. We had the answer.
You guys have put right. I gave you guys an answer too, and you know what? It was lame.
All right, fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shut it down.
All right.
You never know where we're gonna go on Jim Joe Steve show.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I could guarantee you, I didn't know where that.
I didn't know where that was going either. So,
but we got there.
From all of us, the Jim, Joe, Steve, Matt, and Ben show.
Take care, everybody,
Take care.
We will see you in 1 week.
See you next week.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Toodaloo, motherfuckers.